My first class was the day after 9/11. We showed up for our first day, and kind of the theme and the energy in the room was, hate will not stop this. Leadership Toledo's impact in the community would have to do with people, and as an employer within the community, making the investment in your staff, because it will give back and it will make us a stronger company, a stronger firm as a result. Through Leadership Toledo, you got a strong sense of what happens behind the scenes that I would never have received if I hadn't gone through that program.
If I had not gone through Youth Leadership Toledo, I would still be in my mother's basement playing video games. It literally changed my life for the better. So I'm not in my mom's basement playing video games. I'm across the world teaching, Japanese kids and having a blast.
By going through the Leadership Toledo program, it really changed the course of my life and my family's life. It gave us a whole world-class view of what we can do, not just for this community, but also for the world.
The number one attribute of Leadership Toledo has been to introduce and educate future leaders within the Toledo region. It's a little bit of history, a little bit of education, and a lot about how you can be a leader in Toledo. And I think people would be surprised if they actually put the alumni list up of all the individuals who've gone through Leadership Toledo. They would be amazed because they're the leading lights in this community, which means their impact is invaluable.
One of the first things that comes to mind when I think about Youth Leadership Toledo is my project group. We decided to hold a color run in which we raised money to house homeless veterans. We ended up being able to raise enough money that first year to house 15 veterans. Here we are 2 years later, and we've raised over $50,000 cumulative. Leadership Toledo has opened my eyes to the amount of opportunities in Toledo and what an incredible community we have right around us. We don't have to wait until tomorrow. We don't have to wait until we graduate college. We don't have to wait until we have a steady job and are ready to move forward with our lives, but we can make a change today.
I was in the inaugural class. When I went through the class, my company saw in me as to be a future leader and therefore nominated me for that first class. Probably at the time I didn't appreciate that, but in hindsight I appreciate that very much because they saw in me some sort of leadership potential. The collaborative saw it as a great tool to kind of engage and inform our future leaders. Actually, as I look back, the collaborative has been through 3 ownership cycles. Every single one of those leaders went through Leadership Toledo program.
It is of paramount importance to be involved. I chose to come back to Toledo and help with Toledo Christian, and that's where I've found my service and my passions align, and I took that connecting point to heart, and ultimately connecting these people back to the school and the community that they loved and that they had an amazing experience with and memories that they'll never forget. If I would not have gone through the Youth Leadership Toledo program, my scope and vision of leadership would have been much diminished. Leadership Toledo helped me understand the width and the depth of the opportunities to lead and to serve in our Toledo community.
I think without Leadership Toledo, our Students in Action team, even though we were one of the founding groups, would not be as strong as it is today. The Students in Action schools in our region have almost doubled since I've even been an advisor over the last few years.
First thing that I think of when I think of Students in Action is family. Service isn't about competition, it's about making the community a better place. Without Leadership Toledo, I don't know we would have been able to accomplish what we did. We were tired of hearing the same answer of no, no, no. And when we talked to Christina and Anna, they're like, why not? So we shifted our focus to just do as much good as possible. And in turn, we started winning competitions because that's really where service is.
Without this invaluable knowledge, I don't feel like we would be as far as we are. I don't believe that we would be the national gold winners without the leadership skills and training that they received from Leadership Toledo.
My time here volunteering in Toledo with Food for Thought, the big part of that is really just getting to know people's stories. I think that is really what life is all about. It's more than just work, it's more than just volunteering and doing tasks. Is really just getting to know people. I think Leadership Toledo does a really good job of promoting that. If I had not gone through Leadership Toledo, I think I'd be stuck in the same type of practices I was earlier in my career, where I'm not taking time to reflect on my practices, I'm not taking time to reflect on who I am and my behaviors. This has given me an opportunity to be more self-reflective, showing the importance of being self-reflective. And those can only benefit me, but it will also obviously benefit those who report to me, whether it's in a work environment or a volunteer capacity, in all my relationships, whether it's with my friend or with my family.
Dave has a spirit like no other. He has the ability to take 100 or 200 or 1,000 people in a room that don't know each other, and somehow he has this spirit, this attitude that makes everybody feel together. He makes everybody feel like they know each other and they could talk to each other and joke around and laugh with each other and love each other.
David and I ended up being acquaintances, and I know how challenging it's been for him to walk away from Leadership Toledo. Having been through that personally, I know what that's like, and so I admire that he's willing to, finally step away and let the younger generation step in.
Dave is awesome.
Dave is the mentor of mentors.
Dave had so much compassion for everybody. He planted some type of seed to each person that he met and talked to.
Dave's been the glue. He was also that trusted leader in a leadership program. It's nice to have someone there you can trust.
Dave Schlaudecker is someone who believes so deeply in people and their passions and their abilities and the impact that they can have on their community.
As a happy corporate lawyer and executive at Owens Corning, I wasn't looking for an opportunity. I wasn't looking for a door to open. But a high school senior, a young lady who had just graduated from Wade High School, showed me a door that I knew I had to take. She talked about Youth Leadership Toledo, what it meant to her, how it changed her life, and I knew I wanted my career to be part of that. Once the board of directors at Leadership Toledo realized I wasn't a complete idiot, I was given the opportunity to become executive director. The next major door that opened was a phone call from the Jefferson Award Foundation in Washington, D.C., asking if we wanted a youth program in Northwest Ohio. That opportunity has made us the #1 largest, most productive youth program in the country, and we're very proud of that. The next opportunity came when we had a chance to merge with the Center for Servant Leadership. We did a project for the center years ago, and I knew at the time I really wanted to see if we couldn't put our two organizations together. And we're delighted to have that opportunity now and have full spectrum of leadership training. The last door in my career that's opening was creating a staff that I feel terribly certain will continue the terrific opportunities that Leadership Toledo offers. What we teach our students in all of our programs is savor the opportunity to charge through those doors and make a change.